So, welcome back to Letterwatchd. This is, I think this is episode 4. We're covering July 2021.
Halfway through August.
Halfway through August. Yeah, it's a late episode here, but we're getting into it now. And, yeah. How are you, Ronnie?
I'm good.
Good.
I've been catching up on some Dune reading for the movie.
Okay.
Making good progress on that.
Nice.
Been happy about that.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm okay. We've been doing some films. We're gonna do a film with you soon.
Oh yeah,
Playboy. Yeah,
that's true.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think we have the same first one here, right? With Black Widow.
Oh no, I watched some before that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, July 7th. I
What'd you
watched Bad Education.
Oh yes.
I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was a nice little fun time. It had one shot that was just almost ripped straight out of Hereditary,
Okay.
which is funny because you have the guy from Hereditary in it, from the Naked Brothers band, something Wolf, Alex Wolf.
Okay, Alex Wolff. Yeah.
There's a shot of a girl in a classroom just looking out like
Yeah.
he was looking out in the exact same way. And I was like, why is this exactly like Hereditary? There's also a Wolf of Wall Street-esque shot, kind of scene shot, where there's just chaos going on in the high school. And they're just pulling paperwork out. And I'm like, this is just when they're getting rated. And they had the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Essentially, this movie is about a... You find out the school is being corrupt with their money, and they find out someone at the school has just been spending money all these years, and they're like, this woman might have spent like $100,000, and in reality she's probably spent like millions of dollars of the education budget. And it became very complicated because it's like a really high... The whole point is that it was all tied to this property value where they're like, oh, our school's like almost number one in the country, so if we get caught with if we get caught with this, everything's... What are you laughing about? What is so funny? I'm trying to tell a good story here.
Go ahead.
About the movie. Okay.
I don't know.
I'll continue. Just
Just have a laugh and fit.
Just have a good time.
Yeah, just have a good time.
It's just all tied to the property values, and like if we get caught, all the property values are gonna go down, and everyone's gonna be mad at us, and we're gonna lose our budget, and people are gonna get paid less. So yeah, 3.5 stars. It was fine.
Okay.
Jake's over here crying, red face, for no reason.
The next day, we both went to the
This is the
theater.
first time for Letterwatchd.
That we saw the same movie.
Same movie, same day.
Is that true?
And we saw it together.
Yeah, we did. We saw it together. Yeah, Black Widow.
Both had
In theaters.
two different opinions on this.
Well, no, I think we had the same opinion.
Same but slightly different.
You were just a little more upset than I was.
Yes.
I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought it was okay.
I was upset. I gave it 2.5.
I gave it 2.5.
You can go first.
It's cookie cutter, bland. I just talked about it on Mayhem Zone with Will, so I'm less inclined to talk much about it. But I liked it. I think the ending is a little too CGI extravaganza nightmare.
Some of the CGI was that. It was
Horrible.
It was awful.
I think they misused Taskmaster. They should have, spoilers, they should have used her abilities more, I think. I know we didn't know. I guess it was like, we all assumed that it was going to be played. I think everybody assumed that the Taskmaster was going to be played by the guy that she was kind of like seeing or whatever.
Oh. Yeah, he was very just like...
People thought that was going to be Taskmaster. It was kind of a brilliant misdirect.
That would have been good. But he was just like, hey,
Yeah,
I got stuff for you.
Didn't have a character, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they all thought he would be Taskmaster, but it ended up being the villain's daughter. And that was a cool, like, tie-in. I know people are, like, maybe upset about that because it's, like, the Mandarin thing where it's like, oh, this is, like, a classic character in the comics and you guys ruined it. I don't think I feel that strongly about it. It was fine. It was, like, for the story. I just wish they utilized the Taskmaster abilities more where it's, like, she can literally replicate, like, the moves of the Avengers. I thought that was really cool. They didn't really do enough of that. But I just wish they did that more. But it was okay. It's, like, even bottom of the barrel Marvel is still solid. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not DC bottom of the barrel.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
I gave, like I said, I gave it 2.5.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything from it.
Yeah, it slipped a lot of my mind too.
Because I originally gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, no. I don't remember. It was literally the next day, not even 24 hours. I was like, I don't even remember half this movie already. 2.5. Because I was like, it's literally like just this bland, like, Marvel just was like, we need to have this come out. And and especially also because her character's already dead.
Yeah, it would have hit a lot harder if this came out in between Infinity War and Endgame, or vice versa, in between Civil War and Infinity War, when this movie actually takes place.
This would have actually been like, oh, we're actually getting and knowing things happening.
I think people would have also like been more kind to it, because then like the ending would have really hyped you up, like, oh fuck, Infinity War.
It would have also maybe have heard it more because they're like, Civil War just came out.
Yeah.
We're doing and now like this is not good at all. Compared
I don't know.
compared to Civil War, and then you have Infinity War come out.
I know.
And
It's
you're
amazing.
like, this movie is such like a side departure that's not good at all.
I
Which
don't
would
know.
have hurt it in that regard.
I think it would have. I think it would have fared better than like Captain Marvel, though.
Yeah, it would have.
Captain
They would have been
Marvel's
like.
worse.
They would have been like, this movie's better. Like, Captain Marvel's not as good as Black Widow.
Black Widow. If it had come out at an appropriate time, I think the reaction to this movie would have been a lot stronger. Because now it's just like, oh, who cares? She died.
Yeah.
And like, who cares? We already saw like her blonde hair and vest in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Why do we need? I don't care to know how she got that. I figured she's on the run. Okay, great. And then she shows up in a vest and blonde hair. It's her disguise, whatever.
Yeah.
But now I know that like, oh, it was her sister's vest that she wanted, and she likes it because it has a lot of pockets on it or whatever.
And now she gets her own TV show, which, by the way, she should. She's a great actress.
I like Yelena. No, she's gonna be in the Hawkeye show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. I'm
She's
excited
very
to see
good.
her in the Avengers. I want to see her interact with other characters.
Yeah, she's really good.
It's
I
gonna be
want to watch her lose her accent too. Just
yeah,
like
it might happen over
just
time.
like another
like Wanda. Yeah.
like WandaVision.
Yeah. I think Florence might be able to keep it though, because she's
actually
a better actress than. I mean, I love Elizabeth Olsen, but
she's also
Yeah.
she's like English, so she's probably can
She's
pull off the
more-
English.
she-
She can pull off the accent better.
she's good
because
with-
obviously she's American, Olsen. So
Yeah, right,
It's
right.
gonna be like more strained on her.
well, of course.
So
Yeah, and she can't really keep it up. But yeah, it's fine. It's not bad. It's it's Marvel. It's fine.
yeah, you don't have to. You can.
It's more in line with like Ant-Man and the Wasp,
yeah.
and like
I still think that's better, but yeah, it's
Ant-Man
kind of
and
like
Wasp.
that regard, where it's
I
just
like
like a
this more than
nothing
that,
like
but-
side, just kind of filling.
harmless.
Yeah.
Filler.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
would have been. Did you watch What If? We have nothing
No,
to do with it,
but I've heard about it.
this
yeah.
would have been a cool like
Yeah,
one-off
what
animated.
What? Not yeah, yeah.
Not like What If, but because they have announced, like I talked about this on the Mam Zone, but just really quickly, Marvel has now announced that they're going to be developing more animated projects. This could have been a cool animated side thing,
This
where it's
was-
like, oh,
yeah.
this is harmless, it's filling in gaps, but instead they spent $200 million to give her a movie, and it's like, I mean, and honestly, good for her. Like Scarlett Johansson deserves
Wow.
it. She's been with Marvel for 10 years now, since Iron Man 2.
That movie was $200 million.
Maybe less, but yeah. I
Oh
mean,
my
but like with all the
God.
delays, yeah, by now it's
Okay,
probably...
yeah, but I was just saying, like that movie felt like it was 80 million at most.
No, it was a lot more than that.
I know,
They
which
had
is
to
very
pay her
sad.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then they had to do all the CGI.
And now she's suing them so fast.
Well, because they fucked her. They really did. They got her, like, they shunted her movie to Disney Plus, and they cut the legs off of that movie, and it's sad. But, yeah.
I know, but it
check
was
out
also
the Mayhem
like-
Zone for the
it was
complete
also-
autopsy of that.
Yeah. For her though, it's also like, do you want to make some money and have this make any money, or just bomb completely? I mean, things were opening back up, and now they're so quickly closing.
Oh,
back
yeah, but
down.
it's like, but I'm telling you, if they had done, if they ditched the Disney Plus play and had this as theaters only, this would have done $100 million easy, and it would have probably had better legs than it does now, because now people can just buy it on Disney Plus for $30 and they have it forever.
Well, if they keep buying the subscription every month.
Right. But you know what I mean. Like they buy
Yeah.
the $30, they buy the movie. You no longer, unless you're like just this old, unless you're like a vintage, like you want to have the Blu-ray, there is no reason for you to see it in theaters, buy it on Blu-ray, rent it. All of that like ancillary shit is gone.
Yeah.
Just
get Disney Plus.
Disney left so much money on the table with
Yeah.
this movie. They did that, and they ruined. They cut the legs off. At least with the HBO Max thing, it goes away in a month, and then you have to wait for it to come back.
Yeah.
But you have a month to watch it for free. HBO Max, what they're doing is
And that
worse,
movie
but-
is not worth watching in theaters, or like any
Widow?
hype.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
any hype behind like I have to see in theaters or I have to buy Blu-ray. There's no hype. Like it's just a nothing.
I just think
like,
I don't
filler
think
movie.
I don't think they if they had given it the right push, it would have felt that way though. Like there's something so cool and exclusive and like prestigious about like a theater only movie. So you got to go to the theater to see this. And maybe our reactions would have been worse to Black Widow had we had to see this in theaters, because we had the option to watch it at home too. And maybe now, like, because we saw it in theaters, we're just like, yeah, that was pretty good. It was fine. It was okay. But like, if it wasn't also available on Disney Plus, I think I might have maybe liked it less, because I'm like, I waited a year for that.
Yeah.
You know, like, but at least with this, it's like, yeah, they put it on Disney Plus. They already kind of think like it's not gonna do well.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's enough of that, I guess. But the next day, the 9th, I watched The Tomorrow War, on streaming, this is a streaming movie. This is not in theaters. You could tell.
I've never heard this movie.
It's Chris Pratt.
I think this is like, oh, that's right. Yep.
It's a Chris Pratt movie with the aliens, and it's got a great sci-fi premise. I don't think it's based on a book or a story or anything. So like, I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But if that's the case, that's pretty remarkable because this feels very original. It's got a really great concept to it. I gave it 2 stars. I didn't really like it. But that being said, the concept is good. I just don't think they didn't do enough with it. You know, it's
That was good. You held me in suspense.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
You built it up, and then you're like, you dropped the bomb. You're like,
no,
it's 2 stars.
The CGI at the end is horrendous. Horrendous. It's like in the snow.
Weren't
really
you
bad.
Watching part of this before Black Widow?
I was. So I watched like half of it before Black Widow, and I had an epic rant. Yeah,
yes,
I don't want to get into it. It's so dumb. I think I might have done this already on the... No, because I hadn't seen it. I did it on the Mayhem Zone. I had a whole thing about Tomorrow War. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make any sense.
I remember seeing ads for it, I think, and being like, I'm not going to see this movie.
Yeah, it was like July 4th weekend, and you're like, this will be cool and big movie. I watched it like a week late, I think, and I was just like, that was fine. They're trying to do a sequel. I don't... Do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck.
What studio is that? Or what?
It's Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then that same day, I watched Lake Mungo late at night. This movie kind of fucked me up. It was scary. There is like one shot in this movie that I don't think I'll ever forget. I hyped it up way too much to Devin, our friend Devin, and he watched it based on that recommendation, and he did not have the same reaction as I did. He's like, Jake, you thought you hyped that up so much that was not scary. But
you're texting me too.
It sat with me. It fucked me up because there's something about because this whole movie is basically just like. You're looking at photos and like Paranormal Activity-esque like camera footage, and you're just being shown this thing, and it's like, what am I looking at? And then like the narrator or whatever will point something out, and it's like, look in the bottom corner there, and then you just look in and you like zoom in, and it's like, oh, that's a person. That's scary. And there's something about like I'm looking at it and I can't find. It's like, where's Waldo? But then you like shit your pants when you find Waldo. You know? It was like, I was like, oh man, like that's something that's so creepy. It's like, because it was standing there looking at me the whole time. Something very chilling about that I didn't like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. 3.5 stars. Pretty good movie. Not a lot of people talk about it. Very underrated. It's like an indie film. You can't really find it anywhere. The director's never done another movie. And he has no social media presence, so it's really creepy.
Where'd you watch it on?
It's available on, I think, Amazon Prime.
Really?
So it's but there's no like DVD. Like you can't buy it. Like I don't know what the whole story about it, but I think it was recently picked up by a streaming service. Next day, what are
these dates?
I'm on the 10th now.
I'm on 18.
Okay, you got 18, so I got a couple more then. I got a lot more actually. 10th, I have Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf.
I've seen that movie. I don't remember a lot about it, but
it was a weird.
I remember being little and liking it.
I liked it. You know, it's a fine. I thought it was gonna be dog shit, but it was good. I gave it 3 stars. I liked it. It's a middle of the road, fine little movie, harmless. I mostly forgot about it by now.
I remember being young and being like, the girl's hot in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's all. I remember that. I remember being like a horror.
A horror movie, yeah. It is. It's it didn't really scare me enough, but it was more like a thriller.
Yeah,
I would say not scary, but.
Didn't they kind of set it up to be like a sequel? At the end, I thought they did.
No.
I don't remember how it ended.
I don't think so.
I thought there was like something where it was like, oh, we don't know.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, but it's
well,
fine.
clearly didn't get one. So.
No, it's all right. It's 2007. Yeah. The 14th, I finished Loki. I know we don't really do that.
Oh yeah, I don't know when I finish it, but I finished it too.
Yeah, it's I gave it 4 stars. It's a really good show. It's probably the best Disney Plus show to date. But I'm gonna move on because we don't like to. Those
I would agree.
Yeah.
But yeah.
14th, I also watched Fear Street Part 1, 1994. 3 stars. It's okay. I have a weird thing with Netflix original movies. I kind of don't really like them a lot of the time. This was one of them. I think I fell asleep for some of it.
Yeah.
It's a cool little quirky horror movie.
It's an interesting concept doing 3 movies all coming out at once, different decades by the same director.
Yeah,
that concept's always kind of
it was like a trilogy in a month, which I also did in July, and they stole it from me. I did a trilogy in a month too. You can check it out now. Inevitable, The Journey, and God Lives on My Block.
There we go.
Yep.
You plug it.
Had to plug it. Had to plug it. I did a trilogy in a month too, before these guys did it. All right, and then the 15th, I watched the first Space Jam.
I've loved that movie as a kid.
I did
love
not
Michael
love it
Jordan.
when I watched it now. I
love
gave it
Michael
2 stars.
Jordan.
Nope, I gave it 2 stars. Horrendous movie.
Really? Is
Yup.
it really that bad?
I did not like it.
I was thinking of rewatching it this month, in July, but I didn't. But I
No,
don't know.
you don't need to. Because then the next day, guess what I watched?
What?
Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Oh, don't you write it too?
I gave that 2 stars. I did not like it at all. I gave it a review too. I'm not gonna read it out. I said LeBron is a shit actor. That was my review for the movie.
Yeah, he was
LeBron
not
is
good.
a shit actor.
Oh, I'll bring it up when I review it.
Yeah. I'll just breeze right through that. We'll talk more with you.
I got 18.
I got 17.
Okay.
Fear Street Part 2, 1978.
Mm-hmm.
3.5 stars. I like this one a lot more.
I think this was the best rated one too.
It was. I liked it. I would agree with that because I like this one the best. It's same thing. It's fine.
It's fun.
I'm gonna move on from that. You can go ahead 18th.
Jake's gonna get upset here, so I'll keep it short. I watched Incendies. This is Denis Villeneuve. It's a very good movie. Jake always hates on it. It's very well made. I understand why Jake doesn't love it as much as I do, but I do like it a lot. I think it's very good. It's a very good story. It kind of has twists and turns. It has that signature Denis Villeneuve style where everything in the story kind of connects together and there's a plot twist in the movie. So it's very good. I really love it a lot. I gave it 5 stars. And Jake's in there giving me looks.
What's your next day?
21.
Okay, I got 19th. I got Wrath of Man. I gave it
of
3
Man?
stars.
What is
Jason
this?
Statham new movie.
Oh, okay.
I gave it 3 stars, which I think is also what I gave Incendies.
You gave it 3.5, which is very underrated. Because it's his highest rate. It's Denny's highest rated movie
On what, Letterboxd?
on Letterboxd.
Okay, I don't care.
I'm just letting you know.
Well, I like Prisoners, which we'll talk about next month.
It's very good too.
Yeah,
It's not as good as Incendies, but
well, I would disagree with you.
they're both very good movies.
I would disagree with you.
Well, you don't like Prisoners now?
No, I love Prisoners. I love it more than Incendies.
Oh.
You better not. I'm going to lock you up in the bathroom and torture you for days. You keep going, I'm going to lock you up in the bathroom and torture you for days.
You're spoiling it for Will.
Will's not listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
And if he is, then you fucking go watch Prisoners now.
I was about to say
It's on
something
Hulu.
else.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Go, William. I'll cancel Mayhem's on. I swear to God. I swear to God. Wrath of Man was fine. It was fine. I'm glad I didn't go to the theater to see it. Jason Statham's a fine actor. Action was cool. Story was pretty good. I wouldn't highly recommend it, but if you're bored and you got some money, you could rent it. What's your next one, you said?
21.
Okay, I got some 21 too. You go first.
I got Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Oh, Christ.
I gave it 1.5 stars. I think
Awful movie.
I liked it though, but I was like,
this
like,
is shit, but I like it. Yeah.
I specifically watched this. I'm like, I need to watch just some awful garbage movie that I just know
It's
it's
always
gonna
good
be.
to do that.
It's gonna be mind numbing and just so awful that I'm just gonna be like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I really liked the fact that this movie kind of set out to do exactly what it was meant to be, like just some kind of like movie for kids that's kind of trash that has a star actor, a star NBA player, athlete in the movie. I fell asleep during the end. But you can tell the only good parts of the movie are Don Cheadle, because you can tell he's just having so much fun with this. Just
Don
like
Cheadle.
this like
Algorithm.
he's just like, this is such a dumb, this like stupid movie. I'm gonna have so much fun with it. And the animated 2D part was good.
Yeah.
The only gripe, I mean, no, not the only gripe. The one thing that I was like, this is like actually not good. Like this is actually like amateurish. Some of the LeBron James like lines.
Oh, bad.
No, some you can tell like it wasn't, like you could tell it was a different, like he wasn't actually there. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Really?
It wasn't consistent, I should say. Like you can tell like
You're
during
saying,
certain lines,
I see what you're saying.
you're like, this doesn't sound like normal. Like you can tell he's somewhere else shooting
That's
this.
what we
or
call
using a different-
ADR.
It
That's
was
what we
awful.
call ADR.
It was horrible. Some
they-
of the lines I was like, you can tell this is like a. It wasn't
Yep.
like. I don't even know how to explain it. It was like different quality.
Yeah.
Like you could just tell like this is not in the same. Whatever other ADR they did, it's not the same. It's a lower quality, whatever.
Yeah, it's that happens all the time, and it's very bad. It happened a lot. If you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, that is all that show is ADR, because they had to restructure that entire show because of COVID. But like, yeah, it's like, it's annoying because like, I like edit and do sound stuff now, and like, it's very annoying for me because I can also. I mean, I guess this must have been really bad if
I
everybody's
could-
able to tell.
I could tell it was like just so obvious.
You could tell sometimes when like if it was recorded with a different sound.
Because I was like, he must have just been at home with like a mic they gave him at his
Yeah.
mansion, and they're like, to shoot these lines, we need to redo them. Because it was like,
no,
I
it's,
was like,
yeah,
this is really
sometimes
bad.
it's done to like maybe like sell a different point, like a reshape something. Because if like say for example, I don't know what. I'm trying to think of like a scene that might have been ADR. I'm trying to like do an example.
I don't know.
Perhaps like
It was just him yelling about something.
let's say like he goes to Toon World or whatever, the Bugs Bunny place.
Yeah.
Maybe like you don't immediately recognize what's going on, and you know how he gets there and it's like the population's like 1 or 2
Yeah.
people, and it's like
Yeah.
just him and Bugs Bunny. Maybe they would have like had him off screen and just shown something animated, and then they would just have LeBron do voiceover and say like, "Oh man, Toon World only has 2 people here. Wow!" And it's just like shit like that. It's like you needed to further emphasize that. Like we can see that.
I think you're missing a little bit of what I'm trying to say, which is it's kind of hard to portray. It's like literally they shot the movie with a mic,
Yeah.
and then they used a different lower quality mic for some of his lines. Like they sound lower quality. It's not like his acting's bad.
like
Literally,
actually like on screen.
within scenes, there's like he'll say something and then there'll be a response, and then later he'll be in person on
Yeah.
screen. It'll be ADR'd, but it's like a worse
He had to
quality.
lip sync himself.
It was like worse quality. It wasn't as good. It was very. You could tell like he's in a. It was very just. It's hard to
Yeah,
try to explain.
he had to like lip sync himself
But it wasn't that. It was also the mic was just significantly worse.
in some of the scenes.
In some of the scenes, you could
That's so
tell
weird.
it was like if the ADR had like an echo and it was like a bad mic. It was like that for some of the scenes where
That's very odd.
he'd just be talking to someone and then they respond, "I know you're talking like this," and I'm like, what is going on?
That's weird.
That's why I say I'm like they've had him literally just do scenes like in his mansion. They just send him a mic and they're like, just do these lines, and they just sound like garbage. But I do have to say, now that I remember, his acting did get better as the movie went on.
Yeah.
It was not great, but at
No.
first I was like, this is garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
I have 23.
I have a couple on 21st and then a couple on 22nd. I have 21st. I have Fear Street, the last one, 1666. 3.5 stars. Pretty solid conclusion to the Fear Street trilogy. I think this would have done a lot better if they had just spaced them out, ironically. I don't know why they needed to do this all in a month, because now they all blend together for me, and I don't think I'm going to remember this in like a month. Then I watched the first Twilight. Maria, my girlfriend, had us watch Twilight. 2 stars. It's like, I was shocked at how like it's not that bad. It's fine.
It's probably just fine, yeah. It was
Yeah.
just one of those like early.
People love to hate it.
Exactly.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
21st, I also watched Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. 2 stars.
God.
I liked it though. It is a awful movie, but it is so much stupid, dumb fun. Nick Cage doesn't say a word in the movie. Literally, whole
Oh
film
my
does not
God.
talk. It is Five Nights at Freddy's with Nicolas Cage. And do you need to be sold more? No. It's good. It's not, but it's good. Then I watched another Nicolas Cage movie, which is like a 180. It's called Mandy. I give it 5 stars.
Oh yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite movie that I've seen from Nicolas Cage to date. It is fantastic. It's a horror movie. It is a psychotic, weird revenge film. Just so much fun. And it's like colorful, wild acid trip. It's so good. I loved it. I really loved it, and I want to watch it again. Then that same day, at kind of in the evening, I went to see Pig, new movie with Nicolas Cage. I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. They're selling this as the John Wick for pigs. It's not what it is. It's not an action movie.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it was. That being said, I think it would have been a worse movie. I think the drama in this movie, Alex Wolff is in it as well, does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot. I think I would like to rewatch it soon. But yeah, that's my my string there. But Pig was good. I recommend it. And Mandy, obviously.
And then as soon as that came out, they were like, "Oh, The Lamb from A24."
Yep.
And,
And that looks great too.
I looked at reviews on Letterboxd. Apparently, it must have came out in like the country it was shot in. Not great reviews.
Not good.
It's like it peaks at 2.5, so it's like
Well,
it's like a
you know
triangle.
what we're dealing with here.
I know,
It's an A24 film.
I know. So
So-
it could be really good, but that's like my first warning. I'm like, oh,
No, I think we'll be okay.
I hope so.
I think we'll like it. I think everybody else will see it.
I hope it's good. I really
Yeah.
do. I
Yeah.
mean, it's A24.
I want to see it.
So I
We're gonna
always-
see it regardless.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. So on July 23rd, I watched The Big Lebowski. and I gave it 3.5 stars. To be fair, I do think it's the best Coen Brothers movie, or whatever you want to say, directed by one or both of them or whatever, that I've seen. But all their movies kind of have these weird quirks in them that just hold them back for me from being truly, like, great. There's all these... They always just have random weird stuff in it that I get. It's supposed to, like, if you're a fan of that, like, you're going to love this movie and love all the Coen Brother movies. But it's just always these weird random things that happen that I'm like, why is this in the movie?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is kind of weird and ridiculous. But I really thought the premise was really cool. And I love Philip Seymour Hoffman being a little, like, weird guy who's, like, the butler. That was really cool. I think, what's his face, the main actor, John Goodman? John Goodman. No.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, yeah. He was really good playing the dude. He's in the movie, too.
Yeah, he's
very good in it, too. Everyone's good. It's a good movie.
It's a long time ago.
It's just the Coen Brothers quirks kind of pull it back. That's why. But I do think it is their best movie I've seen.
I will have to check it out. What other things? You didn't like Fargo as much? Is that them
Fargo
too?
was... I gave it 3.5, too.
So you didn't like that one as much, huh? I didn't see that, but I want to.
The one thing about that is that there's one just random side plot that has nothing to do with the movie, and it, like, wastes, like, 20 minutes. And I think you know what I'm talking about.
So it's like the beginning of Magnolia. Anyway.
No,
I'm joking. We'll talk about that next month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, we're in the middle of August, so this is like we're fresh on stuff that we're watching now. So it's tough. But what do you have?
I have 25.
I have 24th. I saw Old in theaters. 3 stars. I liked it. It's fine. My experience with this movie was horrible. There was like a black curtain blocking the thing. I talked about it on the Mayhem Zone today as well. Black curtain covering like a third of the screen. I had to go out twice to talk to the goddamn theater manager. It was a nightmare, and I wanted a refund for that alone, but I liked the movie. A lot of people are hating on this one, trashing on it. It's fine. It's one of his better ones lately. It's not that great, but it's fine. Yeah. I liked Alex Wolff in this. I liked a lot of the twists and turns. It's a great premise. There's always a great... You know, that's the thing with M. Night Shyamalan. Every time he does a movie, you're like, I want to see what that's about. I want to watch that. You might not always, like, enjoy the movie, but you're always grabbed by the trailer.
It's always kind of like Christopher Nolan. It's like Christopher Nolan, but worse.
He's a very good idea man and a very good, like, premise guy. Very good at that. I think he's able to sell a movie very well, and I think, like, this is based on a graphic novel, so this might have been in the graphic novel. I think the graphic novel is called Sandcastle. I've not heard a single person talk about that graphic novel, but that being said, I think this movie, I think some of the stuff that M. Night Shyamalan was to thank for was, like, the very polarizing twist at the end of the movie, which I will not say, but it's a little weird. People like the twist. You know, it's Shyamalan, you gotta have a twist.
Yeah.
But I would have preferred their... I can't really get into it. I don't know. I didn't love the twist. However, I don't know. I just wish it was a little more simple. I don't know. It was a weird ending to this movie. And I think a lot of people are hating on it for that reason. People also don't seem to like the acting. I've been hearing a lot. Like, they're like, everybody overacts in this movie. I don't agree with that. I think that's kind of the point, is because Alex Wolff acts like a kid because in his head he's a kid. Yeah. He's getting older and he doesn't know what the fuck is happening to him. Yeah. That's the point. And that's why I heard that, yeah. There's also the girl from Jojo Rabbit is in this as well, the one that's, like, in the attic. Oh, yeah. Great actress. Also acts like a kid because she's a kid. Yeah. That's the point. Yeah. And so I think people are saying that, they're like, but then, like, I've heard, like, no, like, the adults are kind of bad. I'm like, no, you guys are making shit up. So, I don't know. But I enjoyed the movie. I would recommend it. Form your own opinion, I think. I wouldn't say go to the theaters. Yeah, I remember being like, I want to see this movie. It looks like it's good. And I'm like, but it's Shyamalan, so I got to be Who knows? Be cautious.
Yeah, so I ended up seeing it, unfortunately.
It's okay.
Maybe when it's on streaming, I'll watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it on streaming. It's a solid movie. What are you, 25th?
25. I got Minari. I rented this. This is the first time I ever rented a movie digitally like that. Okay. 3.5 stars. For me, it was a little bit of a letdown because everyone was like raving and just giving it all this praise and glory.
Oh,
I still think it was good, well made. It had A24 vibes. It was, kind of that. It was that good feel indie movie, but it wasn't like amazing. When this movie first came out, people were like, "This movie is amazing." And
Yeah.
it wasn't amazing. It was a good time.
I quite liked it too.
I do think if it's someone who doesn't appreciate indie movies or movies that are A24-esque where they don't really necessarily have a full plot,
Yeah.
people aren't gonna like it. They're gonna
Yeah.
walk out and be like, "That movie is boring."
We'll
And
talk about one of those soon
yeah,
that we ended the
But-
month with there.
but yeah, I thought it was fine. I gave it 3.5 stars. I still liked it, and yeah, just it was overhyped.
Yeah, it's one of those movies you caught too late.
Yeah,
If you were there on
especially
the buzz, you would have maybe been
I probably would have.
different. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
it's interesting.
Mhm.
That's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you see these Oscar movies too late, and it's like once you're away from all that like Oscar bait and like who's gonna win and this and that, you're like, yeah, that was fine.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't watched The Father yet, because I know I'm just gonna be like, that's okay.
Yeah, it's probably Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah,
he's
'cause he
probably
won the
just like
Oscar.
he's probably just amazing in it.
Yeah,
that's
it's
probably
like
the
the
whole
movie
draw
sucks,
of the movie.
but
Yeah,
he's good.
exactly.
It's like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of stay away from those. Like if I miss them around Oscar season, there's a good chance I'm just never gonna watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got 26.
Go ahead.
I got Memories of Murder by Bong Joon-ho. He gave
Okay.
it 4 stars. It was a very solid movie. It was very good.
Okay.
It reminded me a little bit of The Little Things, which I notoriously hate. But it reminded me in a good way. And also reminded me of True Detective a little bit.
Okay.
The movie is centered around a guy who's killing women. And I don't think it reminds me a lot of Zodiac, but it's going to be compared to Zodiac because they're both movies about murders. Except this one, I don't think is a real murder. It might be. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's about a guy who kills like women at night when it rains. It's like a very specific thing. It was very good. I liked it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. It reminds me of, I don't want to spoil it, but it reminds me of The Little Things a little bit and like True Detective. But it was a good solid movie. It's
I would
Bong
like
Joon-ho,
to
so
see it, yeah. He is.
he's a good director.
Great director.
Yeah,
He's up there.
yeah.
For
And he's
sure.
got the main guy from Parasite.
Yep.
He's in a lot of his movies.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They're frequent collaborators.
hmm
Absolutely.
I got 27.
I got 28. Go ahead.
Okay. 27, I watched Ocean's 11. I gave that 3.5 stars. I think this is just a really fun, solid, just like blockbuster movie.
I gotta check it out.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It was on HBO.
Yep. I know. I gotta see it on there.
As soon as I finish this movie, I'm like, Nate would love this movie.
Why?
Just because it's one of those movies that I know Nate, because Nate loves Nacho Libre. It's not like that at all, but it's like a very just simple, like, well done movie. That Nate would be like, oh my god, that movie was amazing. I don't know. I told him that. He's like, and he's Nate, so he's like, oh, I'm not gonna watch it.
No, he won't. No.
Yeah, but
He's too busy FaceTiming me
but
and me ignoring him.
but I know this is a movie Nate would be like, oh, that movie's so good. It's not amazing. He would think it's amazing, but it's fine.
That's so specific. I love it. You know what movie I think Nate would really enjoy?
What?
That's like straight and simple.
What?
Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Oh, Nate would love that movie.
I think he would just love it because it takes him a day to process it, and then he loves it. And he's like, that was fantastic. I loved it. I like the part where the pig rapped. I like that part. Yeah. I'm tired of that fucking kid. I really am.
Oh,
I'm so
God.
done with everything. I really am
Yeah.
so sick and tired of him.
Yeah.
I have the 28th. I got the Twilight Saga New Moon.
Oh, we're so going with this.
Yeah, I watched all 5
I
of them.
remember watching them all tick down. I'm like, oh, Jake's just
I'm doing it.
torturing
I'm
himself.
doing it. I gave this one 2.5. It's good. It's fine. I gotta say though, this is a stupid rant. There's an argument. Team Edward, Team Jacob.
Oh my God.
Right? It took the world by storm back when this film was released in theaters.
Yeah.
In 2009. There is no competition. I don't understand why there are teams. It is Edward.
Oh my God.
Like what the fuck?
Who's who again?
Edward is Robert Pattinson,
Okay.
and Jacob is Taylor Lautner.
See, I've never seen these movies, so I have no...
So she wants to be a vampire.
Yeah.
So that should tip you off on which team we're on here.
Yeah.
What? Like, come on.
Maybe...
Oh my God. It doesn't make any sense to me. Everybody's like, oh, 2 minutes. Like, first, you guys read the books.
It was very smart marketing.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No.
You got Team Edward, Team Jacob, and they're like, oh, the Twilight. Again, it gets the name
However,
around.
I gotta say, one thing I really appreciated, I read about this after the movie came out. The first one is color corrected, very blue, very kind of cold and like a vampire.
Yeah.
The second one, because it follows more of Jacob, because Edward, for whatever, no spoilers here, but Edward goes, he needs to leave with his family because, word's getting out, a lot of vampires are in town, we gotta leave. We gotta leave behind no trace because nobody can find out that we're vampires. So Bella, Kristen Stewart, is obviously upset about this because she loves him, she wants him. So she confides in her long best friend Jacob, who has like the boy next door, but he's kind of ripped.
He's Shark Boy.
He's Shark Boy. He's ripped. He got his hair cut. He looks good now. So now Kristen Stewart's kind of like, oh, he's an option here. And the movie is color corrected to be brown and more warm, like a werewolf.
Ah.
So I really appreciated that.
Really clever.
Yep.
Really clever.
And then to continue that day, I watched the Twilight Saga Eclipse, the third movie, which answers the age-old question of Team Edward or Team Jacob. Spoiler alert: it's Team Edward. And in this finale, which we'll talk about next month, because I didn't get to watch them all in one month.
Oh
so this sprawling thing will come to a conclusion next month when I talk about Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2. God. But it should be no mistake because this franchise ended almost a decade ago. So I'm sure a lot of you guys know that we're Team Edward all the way.
I take no side. I have not seen the movies. I've seen the Cosmonaut Variety Hour viewings of the movies.
I might have to watch those then.
They're very good.
Okay.
They're very good.
I'll watch them. That sounds fantastic. I'm going to watch them.
He does all the movies. It's like an hour of content, maybe an hour and a half.
Oh, lovely.
So good.
All right, so I have the 29th. We have two on the 29th, though, so I'll start with my first one, and then we'll go into our together. Mm-hmm. I watched Friends the Reunion. So, I know, it doesn't count.
It's not a movie.
I know.
It's not a movie.
But it's on Letterboxd, whatever the fuck. It's on there. So I didn't rate it. I liked it, though. And it's very nice because I watched the whole show over the last few months, and I was rewarded for finishing it by this reunion, and I watched it, and I blogged it on Letterboxd, and I want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So eat shit. It was a good show. It was a good reunion.
It was like a one episode thing.
It was a movie event. Yeah, it was an hour and 45 minutes on HBO Max, and it just celebrated the show. Mm-hmm. That's all it was. And if you didn't like it, it's fine.
Didn't one guy, wasn't he not there or something?
No, everybody was there.
Oh, everybody?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know why I thought
one of them's not doing well, but everybody was there.
Oh.
Yeah. I won't talk about that. But it's...
talk about that.
No. But then on the 29th, you and I saw a film together with William.
With William.
Yeah. It was The Green Knight.
It was The Green Knight.
A24.
Yeah, A24. We were so happy about this movie.
Yes.
It was such a good time.
Good time.
However, before the movie started...
Yeah. Let's go into that a little bit. Because Ronnie had to have dinner.
I wanted to have a little snack before we ate. Before we watched the movie.
Fucking full meal. We could have eaten in the mall.
So we parked at a mall because the movie theater that had The Green Knight was by a mall. We went in, and the place that I wanted to eat at was closed, like fully boarded up, like we are not here anymore. And I'm like, great. There's another place I know by the movie theater.
It's got $3 signs, which means what, Ronnie? We learned.
I was like, oh, it has $3 signs. It might be really expensive. So when we walked down there, we walked past from the mall, past the movie theater to the restaurant, and we picked up the menu. And we looked at it, and like the cheapest option was like $20 for a salad. So we were like, absolutely not.
We're leaving. This is not.
We looked at the girl there. We're like, thank you. Put the menu down and walked out.
Yep.
Then I was like,
cannot be here.
Then I was like, let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Yep. So we went further from the movie theater to Buffalo Wild Wings, where I feel like we had the worst, most rushed, like server ever. She was just so slow and nonchalant, and we were just watching the clock tick down. We're like, we got 15 minutes, we got 10 minutes, we got 5. The movie's starting right now with trailers going. She was horrible.
We got our food.
I really
scarfed it down and left.
I ate my stuff in like literally a minute.
Yep,
literally like 60 seconds.
Then
I was like, I'm
sipping
done.
his beer like he's got time.
And then literally, like, I was looking at the clock. I'm like, I'll leave. Like, I'm fine with leaving. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm hungry.
The
But
dine and dash. We gotta go.
no, we didn't even have our food yet. I'm like, I'll just leave. Like, they cooked the food. I don't care. We have to leave. Like, this girl's taking too long.
Yeah.
And then that would have been funny because Will would have been stuck there with his beer, being like, I have to pay for the food now.
Yeah, we only got
I can't
waters.
watch the Green Knight. Yeah, he got a beer. Yeah, we ate our food in like 1 minute, and then we were like, can we get the receipt, please? And she's just walking around, like, not looking at us, like, please, we want to leave. The movie's starting right now. And she just took forever.
And so, long story short, we missed, like, at least the first 2 to 3 minutes.
We ran to the theater.
Ran.
And
then I sat down. I had, like, the sweats because I was like, I just scarfed my food down, and now I'm sitting. I just ran a fucking half a mile.
It was not that long.
I know it wasn't, but it was far. It was like 2 blocks.
Yeah.
And then
It was a good run.
Yeah, and then we sat down, theater, no time to pee, no time to get snacks. We watched The Green Knight, and it was good. It was a good movie.
I really liked it a lot.
It's great.
You're just gonna stare at me?
It was a good fantasy time.
It was very good, yeah.
I liked Dev Patel. I didn't like the cum, but I liked Dev Patel.
We both gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, we both liked it, and I liked it. Yeah, 4 stars.
It had all the A24 vibes.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that I didn't like was just, like, the random mansion that had his love interest and the king young in it. It was very random.
Joel Edgerton. The Joel Edgerton part?
Yeah.
The cum part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just very random.
That was a weird scene.
If it didn't have that, I probably would have given it 4 1/4, 4.5.
I think I did your 4 1/4 bullshit. Let me see, actually.
You did that for Loki.
Oh, yeah, I did it for Loki this month. I did it again recently. I did.
Yeah, you did.
I did for a movie that I'll talk about next month.
Yeah, it was just so random and weird. And for its length, it was surprisingly, like, even though it's a very slow pace and not a lot happens, I really enjoyed just the atmosphere.
It was a great,
and the
like,
shots.
story.
It was just such a nice movie. It was like, also I think what also helped me like it so much was the fact that we're back in theaters and it's A24 movie.
Yeah.
And it's
first
been like
A24. Oh no, I saw Zola, but first A24 movie.
First good A24. No,
I enjoyed Zola.
No, all A24 movies are good.
Yeah.
They're all trying something.
Yeah.
And this movie was very good. I really liked it a lot.
It was very good. I really want to see it again. This is the only movie. I will say this. This is the only movie that I've seen in theaters that I have considered briefly going back and seeing it again in theaters during COVID.
Wow, really?
Yep, the only one. Well, however, I am considering seeing Suicide Squad in theaters, but I only saw it on HBO Max so far.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count.
Doesn't count, yeah.
But Green Knight, I saw it first in theaters, and I'm considering going back and seeing it again. I won't, but I want to.
They're really smart with using Joel Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton, yeah.
I was really smart using him for 3 different roles.
Huh?
He was the Green Knight.
What do you mean?
I thought he was the Green Knight in makeup. Was he not the Green Knight?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna look. I swear he was the Green Knight.
Well, what's the second? What's the other role? You said 3.
The old man. He was the old king in the beginning, and then he was the young guy in the mansion with the love interest from Ex Machina. That's 2. And then the Green Knight would be 3. I think he is.
Why are they using this? I don't understand this shit with the actors.
Nope.
Okay,
it's
so
the guy
fuck
from
you.
The Witcher.
From The Witcher?
No, it's from The Witch. My
Oh, it's
apologies.
him?
It's him. The voice.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I knew
The dad?
I knew he was the voice, but I didn't know it was actually him. My apologies.
Well, now I gotta go see him play the old knight, or the old, whatever.
You don't remember that?
No.
But yeah, I liked it a lot. I wanted to read it, but you were very pessimistic about that. You're like, I don't want to read that.
I'm good. I don't need to do all that. But
If it wasn't, because I know it's literally an old story with no author and it's old timey English. If there was like a normal English version, I would read it. But
yeah,
I really liked it.
I enjoyed the film. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out. I'm gonna watch it again.
Yes.
I liked it.
It was very good. Yep.
That's it for me for this month. Go ahead, finish yours.
Oh, July 30th. The Theory of Everything. 2.5 stars. I did like it. It just gave me so many Bohemian Rhapsody vibes, where it's just like.
Huh? Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'll explain. Not in story. Not in
What?
story. Not in story.
Okay.
But it felt very similar in the way they kind of directed and just had everything kind of pan out. Where it's like, it's just screenshots of just his life and just things happening, and you have this amazing actor playing the lead role, and it was just like, it was kind of just like whatever.
Okay.
It was kind of like, oh, here's the highlights of his life. It's him before he had his issue. It's him falling down. It's him in the wheelchair. It's him causing what happened, which I actually didn't know, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
What happened. it's his love interest changing, and then it's the end. It was like just like a perfect, just like cookie cutter, just nonsense.
It was an Oscar baiting movie for sure.
But the guy was such a good actor in it.
He's fantastic.
He was so good.
He won Best Actor.
Have you seen this?
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw it around the time it came out.
Oh,
and
okay.
It goes back to the argument that I was just saying.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it around the Oscar season, you don't care.
I think he deserved. He
won.
He won Best.
He won.
Yeah, I
was fantastic.
He was good in it, but I thought the movie overall was just like whatever and just kind of bland and just like just very. Again, like it just makes me wish that they had more better creative direction in certain movies like this. Where if you had this with like a really good, instead of it being his whole life, like it's just like a portion of his life where it's like him in the wheelchair and then him losing his voice. Why are you laughing?
Our buddy Carson Runquist.
Oh God!
He reviewed. I just
he
saw.
reviewed it.
He reviewed this film.
Oh God! What does he have to say? What does he have to say?
He gave it 1.5 stars.
Wow. Okay.
And he said, "What is this CBS in the morning ass bullshit?"
Okay, he needs to settle down.
We have an interesting relationship with Carson Runquist.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't have one at all. But
we don't. But
we're not a fan.
We have opinions upon him.
Yeah, we don't. He is the worst type of Letterboxd user. And I'm tired of him. He thinks he's so goddamn funny.
I know.
I'm publicly shaming Carson Runquist, however, and if you're listening to this, your YouTube videos are very good.
Yeah.
But good lord.
Yeah.
Enough with the sarcasm. It's not funny.
It's not funny. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. It's whatever. Great actor. Let's move on.
Go
July 31st, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
This is a classic comedy.
Classic comedy.
Our dear old friend Brendan would not be quiet about this movie. He wanted me to watch it every day, and I finally watched it. Every day. He always like I never saw it, and he's like, we need to watch this.
Yeah.
And it was one of those movies.
I remember being very little and getting it from the library.
Okay.
And then watching the first literally 2 minutes and being like, I don't understand the accents. This is gonna be hard to watch, and I never finished past that.
It's funny.
It's literally the first scene where they go up to the castle and they're like, I forgot even what the topic is, but they're like, ah. And
yeah.
Literally,
I remember a lot of it. I saw it once with Brendan. I watched it at his house, and there were a couple moments that were actually legit funny.
Yeah.
If I watched it alone, I wouldn't like it at all. I don't think.
I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was very fun and enjoyable. But yeah, the style is it's too much.
Yeah.
Some of it's like very like, all right, I get it.
This is the one where they like walk behind the horses. Yeah.
At first it was funny, and then I'm like,
you get tired of it.
I get tired of it. But I'm also like, I'm surprised how dedicated they are that they do it the entire movie. And, it's like yeah, but yeah, that's the only thing that holds us back. If it was like my kind of comedy, like that, then I'd probably give it like 4.5 because it's so well made for like what exactly it wants to do. That's so honed in on being like that. This is like so overly joking and like taking itself so not seriously, but being serious.
Yeah.
That it's like funny.
It's actually a story in a movie.
To be like that, yeah. But it's not my kind of humor, so I gave it 3.5. I do give it credit. It had like if that was like an actual movie I went to see in the theaters, the balls it had to end the way it did. Do you remember how it ended?
No, tell me. I don't remember.
It ends with them being like, okay, we're about to find the Holy Grail. And then early in the movie, there's someone that gets killed, and there's cops that show up. And this is actually one of the things I'm like, I really like this. I love this so much. Mm-hmm. And then each time throughout the movie, it's like, they're like, oh, call the police. This person died. And it's ancient, like, Holy Grail, King Arthur, like, crusades. There's actual policemen. And throughout the movie, they keep cutting back to this, where they're, like, policemen, like, investigating. They, like, tape it up.
They got, like, cars and shit.
Yep. And then they cut back, and they're like, those are the men who found it. At the very end of the movie, it's this, like, big climactic, like, Lord of the Rings, like, we're going to go and take over the castle. Because it's the people from the beginning that we were mentioning earlier. They're these French people. They're like, no, we're not going to help you. And it's like, we're going to go in there, and we're going to find the Holy Grail. And there's, like, the Lord of the Rings shot. There's just all of them lined up, ready to go. And then the police cars just roll up. There's, like, an FBI SWAT van. They're like, those are the guys that killed the person. And then they get locked up, thrown in, and the movie just ends. It just ends. There's no credits. It literally just cuts off, like, film, like, black. It goes to film real, like...
Because they do all the credits in the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember that being, like,
and that was actually
took
funny.
a while to get going.
Yeah, because it was, like, all these nonsense film credits. But the movie ends like that, and it cuts to film, like, going white, like, it's, like, it's like, see-through.
When it blows up, yeah.
Yeah. And it just ends. And I'm like, wow, that took balls to end the movie like that. I'm like, if I was in the theater, I'd be like, wow. They just ended it just like that. It's about to be all this big climactic ending, and then they just have this skit throughout the entire movie that's just like, nope, we're done, and the movie ends. It was so good.
Love that.
But yeah, I gave it 3.5. But it was so good.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this. I remember liking
it. Was on
it.
Netflix.
Yeah. I remember liking it a bit, but I
it's good. It's obviously enjoyable, but
I saw it too young, I think, maybe. I didn't really pick up on a lot of it, but I do remember like laughing quite a bit at some of the funnier stuff.
But yeah, some of it also is just like the humor is a little too much, which I guess some people love, but it's like that
over
thing.
the top, too crazy. Yeah, I understand. That's fun. You did the Green Knight, and then you did the real Green Knight, which is what my take on. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
that's great.
So,
we got our pandemic picks. What you got?
I got the Green Knight.
That's yours. Okay.
Yep.
That was a great one.
It was a very good movie.
I actually, it's very rare for 5 stars. I think between both of us. I had one this month, and it was Mandy. I truly like. I saw that like late at night one night, and I was like considering. I'm like, I want to watch this again tomorrow. Like I liked this so much. I don't know. It just stuck with me, and I keep thinking about it. And I really liked it. And Nicolas Cage is fantastic in it. It's just a crazy ass weird movie. I loved it. That's my favorite movie.
I've not had a new
5-star movie.
New 5-star movie during this whole run. I haven't had one in a long time. I think the last one might have been Incendies. I don't know. I'll look at my little list I got here.
Okay.
Because I know you don't like that.
That was your
movie.
most recent.
I know you don't like that movie and brought it up too often.
My own recent 5-star was Mandy, and then before that it might have been Apocalypse Now when I saw it for the first time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I remember seeing that and be like, wow.
I really loved it. Apocalypse Now was fantastic, despite the animal cruelty.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to find it real quick. Yeah, that was the last 5-star movie I've seen.
Damn. That you gave 5 stars. Most recent.
Before that was probably Jojo Rabbit or Parasite. It was probably Parasite, then Jojo Rabbit, then Ex Machina, and then before that probably.
I gave Kong Skull Island 5 stars.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's talk about that real quick,
just
as a random tangent. Explain why you love that movie so much.
It's just a great look into the Vietnam War.
It was like the actors in it really good. Their performances.
Yeah, I really liked Tom Hiddleston in that, and Brie Larson and Samuel Jackson. John C. Reilly's great. Yeah, it's a great film.
I disagree, Gary.
I disagree. It was dog awful. We watched it in IMAX, and the theater wasn't even working. It was IMAX 3D, and the 3D wasn't even working. It was this big issue. To be fair, it did give us Dunkirk for free, but still.
It did. That's right.
That's the only good thing about this movie. That's
great.
It got us Dunkirk for free.
And then before this, I gave E.T. 5 stars. I love E.T.
And I don't know if you're joking on that or not. You might.
No, E.T.'s fantastic. You never seen E.T.?
I've seen E.T., but I was young. I don't remember.
It's a phenomenal movie. Rewatch that. I think that does it.
That does it.
That does it this week for the. Not the Mayhem Zone.
Oh, wow.
That does it this week for Letterwatchd. This has been episode 4 of July 2021. We did it a month late, but here we are. And we'll be back very soon for August.
You might as well wait and just put this July and August just back-to-back.
Back-to-back episodes.
Just ruin the viewership so no one watches any of them or listens.
Oh, nobody watches them anyway.
I know.
No, I'm joking. Okay, yeah, you guys check it out and behave now.
That was just like a radio stuff where ended off like, man, best behave now, folks.
No, yeah, we're gonna be heading out now. Behave yourselves, and then don't get into too much trouble out there.
Oh
and,
my God.
Yeah, we will. We'll
see you for August.
We'll see you guys in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.